So, I asked Gemini a question because I'm a little confused about demons and whether demons are the fallen angels or whether demons are the spirits from the Nephilim. And so I told Gemini I'm going to record this and upload it on my YouTube channel. So I want you to hear this.
That sounds great. I'm ready when you are. Here is that deep dive into the origin of demons, formatted clearly for your viewers. The deep dive, demons versus fallen angels. In biblical studies, there is a fascinating distinction between where demons come from versus fallen angels. While we often lump them together today, ancient tradition actually suggests two very different origins. Theory 1. The fallen angels, the top-down view. This is the most common view in modern churches. It suggests that demons are simply the angels who rebelled with Satan. The origin. Based on Revelation chapter 12, it's believed that when the dragon was cast out of heaven, he took 1/3 of the angels with him. Their nature. In this view, demons are purely celestial beings. They are high-ranking spirits who lost their office in heaven, but kept their power. They function like a rogue military force. Theory 2. The spirits of the Nephilim, the earthly view. This was the dominant view during the time of Jesus, and is detailed in the book of Enoch, which is quoted by the New Testament writers Jude and Peter. The origin. This traces back to Genesis chapter 6, where the sons of God, watchers, had children with human women. These hybrid children were the Nephilim, the death of the giants. When the physical bodies of the Nephilim died, mostly during the Great Flood, their spirits were released. The result. Because they were part human and part angel, they weren't allowed into heaven, but they weren't standard human souls either. They became demons, disembodied, bastard spirits condemned to wander the earth. The big difference, why they act differently. This second theory explains a lot about the New Testament. 1. Fallen angels are often described as high-level principalities and powers, or as being, quote, chained in darkness awaiting judgment. 2. Demons, the spirits of the Nephilim, are portrayed as being desperate for a physical body. Because they were born into the physical world as hybrids, they feel naked without a body, which is why they seek to possess people or even animals. I hope that provides a clear breakdown for your YouTube audience. Would you like me to go into more detail on those sons of God from Genesis chapter 6 for the next part of your video?
I'm just deciding whether I want him to do this or not.
You're very welcome. Let's keep the cameras rolling. This next part is often the most controversial and interesting part of the whole Nephilim puzzle. Part 2. Who were the sons of God? To understand the Nephilim, you have to identify their parents. In Genesis chapter 6 verses 1 to 4, the text mentions a group called the sons of God, B'nai Ha-Elohim in Hebrew, who saw that the daughters of men were beautiful and took them as wives. There are three main ways scholars and theologians interpret who these sons of God actually were. 1. The angelic view, the supernatural interpretation. This is the oldest interpretation, and the one found in the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Book of Enoch. The idea. These were literal heavenly beings, watchers, who abandoned their proper dwelling in heaven to interact with the physical world. The result. This unholy mixture of the divine and the human produced the Nephilim, the giants of old. New Testament link. This explains Jude chapter 1 verse 6, which speaks of angels who did not keep their positions of authority, but abandoned their proper dwelling. 2. The Sethite view, the human interpretation. This view became popular later in church history, around the 4th century. The idea, the sons of God, were the godly descendants of Seth, Adam's third son, and the daughters of men were the ungodly descendants of Cain. The result, the Nephilim, weren't literal giants, but giants of the faith, or mighty men who fell away from God. The critique. Many modern scholars find this difficult because it doesn't explain why a marriage between two humans would produce giants, or why the ancient world was so terrified of them. 3. The divine king's view. The idea, these were ancient Near Eastern rulers or tyrants who claimed to be gods to justify their power. The result, the Nephilim were the royal offspring of these powerful, often cruel dynasties. Why the angelic view changed history. If the angelic view is correct, the flood of Noah wasn't just about human bad behavior, it was about a genetic and spiritual crisis. The ancient world believed these beings were trying to corrupt the human bloodline. This adds a whole new layer to why Noah was described as blameless in his generations. Genesis chapter 6, verse 9. Some interpret this to mean his DNA was still 100% human, untouched by this Nephilim corruption. I'll pause there for your recording. Does that give your viewers enough meat to chew on regarding the parents of the Nephilim, or should we talk about where those giants went after the flood?